Another day, guys, another part for the GR Supra, the car that I keep on saying has been consuming most of my time, and for a reason. This car needs a lot of love, so we're trying to give it a lot of love. And honestly, guys, we've made a lot of progress. I have some stuff for it. Obviously, you guys know what this is. This, believe it or not, is a replacement piece because there's something in the interior that's broken. I have the ride height level sensor, and then this here is the sway bar end links, which we're not going to be installing in today's video. Today, we're gonna be doing something a little different. There's a topic that I never talked to you guys about, and there's a reason for it. Now, a lot of you guys have been watching my channel, and you'll probably know the cars that I've owned and featured on this channel in that time. I've had cars like my BMW 435, which I sold to my brother a little while ago. I had the BMW 330i, I had the BMW X3 M40i, now I have this X5, I have the G80 M3, and I have the GR Supra. So honestly, there's been a lot of cars on this channel. For right now though, I want to get this X5 in the driveway because this X5 is gonna kind of be relevant to the topic today, which I'm sure you guys saw in the title and the thumbnail, and it's whatever happened to my X3, because I never talked about it. So the reason this X5 is gonna be relevant to that topic is because, well, this X5 replaced the X3, but it wasn't really voluntary. Now, like I said before, my BMW 435 I sold to my brother, and you guys knew well in advance what happened with that car. The BMW 330i, that car I just sold to a random person off Facebook Marketplace, but that car also, you guys knew what was going on. Like I said, I was gonna get rid of the car. I got rid of the car and I had a video about it. The X3 though, it was on the channel for a while, like a good while actually, and then it just wasn't anymore. And then for a time, I only had my 330i and the G80 M3, which by the way, if you guys are wondering where the G80 M3 is, because right now we have the X5 and the Supra, the G80 is actually in the courtyard. It's been underneath a car cover. That's because I've been away for a little bit. So while I've been away, I left the car in here. I put it underneath the car cover. Just in the meantime, you guys probably don't even notice when I've been away for like a week or sometimes 2 weeks, because I film my videos in advance and I still upload 2 videos a week every single week. But anyways, back to the X3. Even though this is the X5, the X3 just kind of disappeared off the channel. We went a pretty long time, I want to say maybe like 6 to 8 months or something, without an SUV, until we finally got this X5, and I think it was like February of 2024. So we actually had this thing for not too long so far. Obviously, since then we put on this beautiful body kit, which I absolutely love. We threw on some wheel spacers over here. We have the side skirts, we have the front lip. So we actually haven't done too much to it. I also did a red start button, which was my first mod. But while just thinking of all that, I really want to quickly turn this thing back on and slam it on the air suspension. One of the coolest things about this X5 is because it has the third row, it comes with this air suspension. So we can literally lower this thing if it wants to agree with us here. So for some reason, it's not letting me lower it all the way. So we're not going to play with that anymore, and we're just gonna leave it as is. I wanted to try to slam it because it looks so much better when it's lowered, especially with this body kit, but it is a little lower right now. Anyways, I keep on tangenting, but I got this X5 in like January, again, to replace the X3. Now, some people probably assumed I just wanted a bigger SUV. I wanted a third row SUV. Although that was kind of true, that actually wasn't the reason why I got rid of the X3. I mean, I'll just say it, guys. We kind of crashed the X3. And when I say we, I don't mean me. So if I haven't made this clear already on the channel, the M3, the 330i, the 435, those have always been my cars. The X3 I got for my wife. That was supposed to be her car. That was supposed to be the family car. Yes, guys, I am paying for all the cars, but you know, it is my wife's. Like, I get them for my wife, and it is her car. I like to treat them that way out of respect for her. But the point is, the X3 was my wife's. So what happened was, she was driving one day, it was raining, she was going downhill on a highway. Unfortunately, the highway just decided to come to a slowdown, and unfortunately, you know, my wife wasn't able to stop in time, and unfortunately crashed the car. I have some clips of the accident, and I'll throw that up on the screen at points in this video and stuff like that, so you guys can see what it was like. Yeah, that is unfortunately what happened to the car. I will say my wife was thankfully okay. The person in front of her was totally okay. It was just cars at the end of the day that got damaged. And what I also will say, guys, is my wife was actually pregnant at the time. So for me, it was kind of a scary time when I received that phone call. My wife said that she was in an accident. You know, again, knowing my wife was pregnant with my second child, you know, it's a scary moment, but thank God, alhamdulillah, like she was okay. There was no harm done. It wasn't that serious of an accident. You guys will see the pictures and the videos of the X3. It wasn't that serious. Unfortunately though, they did end up totaling out the X3. It was enough damage for them to say that it's just not worth fixing. So it is what it is. The insurance company totaled it out. They did pay me out for it, which was at least nice. The reason why they totaled it out specifically is, even though you guys will see again in the pictures and the videos, it didn't look that bad. They didn't know if there's any suspension damage, if there's any damage to the control arms or anything like that. So they listed all that stuff as an unknown. And I think the body shop guy, he was like, oh, this is a B58. The turbo sits on that side where it got hit. So I think he listed the turbo as an unknown as well. I don't know. Either way, they decided to total it out. And yeah, we got paid out for it. At the time, we saw the G80 M3 and we had the 330i. So we kind of said, you know, let's just chill on getting another car in the meantime. My wife started driving the 330i and I was just driving the G80 M3. We weren't in a rush to get another car. Now, I will say my wife absolutely loved that X3. I love that X3. You guys will actually remember we modded it. Like, we did a carbon front lip and diffuser from Keys Motorsports. We did a Burger Motorsports tune on it. We did a whole bunch of aesthetic stuff like mirror caps and all that type of stuff. And a lot of people who own that X3 or the same X3, they love those videos because I know not a lot of people make videos about the X3 M40i's. It was an amazing car. It's such a great balance between performance and practicality. Has the B58, which is super reliable, super fast. It was a good size, it wasn't too big. You didn't feel like you were driving an SUV when you were driving that car. You felt like you were driving, honestly, like a hatchback, but it wasn't a hatchback. Now look, don't get me wrong, like I love this X5, but the difference with this X5 is when you're driving it, you really feel like you're driving an SUV. This thing is significantly bigger, to me at least, than that X3 was. Now there are some cool things about this X5, especially after doing this body kit. This one actually already has gloss black wheels, it has the red calipers, so that's cool. And you know, I love it, but it's just, it's not the, you know, it's not the sportier version of the X5. This is the 40i. The M50i was just way too expensive, and we figured we're not going to spend that much money on a family SUV. It's just, we'd rather something more practical and sensible, so that's why we got the 40i. Now, something else I will say though is, since we no longer had the X3 and it was totaled out, we kind of thought like, well, there's no point in getting another X3, despite me and my wife absolutely loving that SUV. But what we decided to do instead, especially considering that, you know, my wife was pregnant with our second child and our family was only going to get bigger, we figured we'd hold off until we can get a third row SUV. So I was debating for a long time, do I get an X7, do I get an X5? Long story short, guys, I decided to get an X5. The X7 was just too big, too expensive, but unfortunately things just happened. You know, I didn't want to complain or do anything like that. I was going to make a video about it when it first happened, because it's been a while ago now. Like, it's been over a year. But, you know, as you guys can imagine, it was a bit of a sensitive topic, especially for my wife. She didn't really want to talk about it or anything. Like, it really crushed her. She loved that SUV. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. Like, that feeling after you crash your car or you scratch your car or something happens like that gut-sinking feeling. It's just horrible. I'm sure a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's what my wife was feeling, and to an extent me as well. So, you know, I just figured I'd not make a video about it. So hopefully that answers a lot of questions. Some of you guys probably even forgot about that X3, or probably just didn't care, because I know most of you guys watch my videos for the 435, the 330, the Supra, the M3. Very few of you guys watch for the SUVs, but they're still my cars, so I still feature them on the channel. And I know some of you guys do care, so shout out to you guys who do care. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the X3. Just wanted to tell that story. Sorry this wasn't as much of like a content-packed video, but while I do have you guys, I wanted to give some quick updates. So just for things to come for the X5, we do have a tune. I already told you guys about that, but once we tune this X5, we're gonna race it against this bad boy right over here. We're gonna see how a tuned family SUV with the B58 compares to a stock B58 and a pretty much sports car. And then depending on how it does, maybe we'll race it against the G80 M3, but that's still to come. Otherwise, for the Supra, which I know is, again, where my videos mainly tend to be these days, we have those parts that I showed you guys before, and we also have some really big news for this thing. If you guys have been following the journey about rebuilding this Supra and getting it titled and registered in New York, we have a major update. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. You guys are gonna have to wait and find out, but that should be hopefully maybe the next video. And then, believe it or not, we do have some more videos for the G80 M3. which is coming to an end. So we have to figure out what we're gonna do about that car. Do we keep it? Do we sell it? Do we get something else that's fresh and new and that we can make more content on? But anyways, if you guys want to see all that, if you guys want to see the updates, and if you guys want to follow the journey, you guys already know what to do. But yeah, anyways, with that said, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.